Kalilah, Demi? Turn on your videos. All right. We have Demi. Kalilah.
Hello.
All right, it worked. It worked. All right. We have both of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me get us started and then we're going to jump right in. This is an exciting session of Entrepreneurship Matters. We have one, I think, Kalilah, you are one of our most famous entrepreneurs that we've ever featured. So I'm so excited. And we also have our youngest entrepreneur we've ever featured, Demi Nelson, who's 7 years old. So let's get started. Everyone wants to know more about you too. So Entrepreneurship Matters is a conversation that we have with local entrepreneurs and established entrepreneurs. And what we know is that successful entrepreneurs, successful businesses aren't started in a day, but it takes undiluted passion, multiple failures, and a lot of grit and a long-term commitment to make it happen. This session was actually started by a youth entrepreneur that we know, Camry Moses. She always watches. She's an entrepreneur. She has a company, KR Smoothies, and she thought of this idea, and we've been doing this 17 weeks. So I'm so glad we were able to book both of you for this webinar series. Let me introduce Demi and Kalilah, and then we're going to jump right in. So Demi Nelson Armstrong was born in Baltimore. She's 7 years old. She loves to dance, read, and create art projects. But Demi started a business called Demi & Co. And she right now has one employee. She has more than 100 customers. And she is making more money than I ever thought I could make it at the age of 7. She is a second grader at St. James and John Catholic School, killing it in school. I talked to your teacher. You're doing an amazing job, Demi. But more importantly, you're an amazing entrepreneur. We're going to talk about that and what you turned a hobby into a real business. Kalilah Wright, the Kalilah Wright, is born in Jamaica, but migrated to the U.S. at the tender age of 4 and was raised in Brooklyn. We're proud to have her in Baltimore. She is the founder and CEO of the expressive brand, Mess in a Bottle. I actually have your shirt on. We're going to do a t-shirt show in a minute.
Yay.
Yeah, my whole team has these shirts. You're an accomplished designer and trained architect. Used her master's degree from the Morgan State University and bachelor's of art from Penn State to establish his brand in January of 2016. If you have not seen the Mess in a Bottle brand, you should go and watch it. It is a brand, I think, established to evoke change and to be thought provocative and to allow individuals to wear messages that we've been holding around in our minds and hearts on their persons. She is an accomplished. She's won the Wells Fargo Business Pitch Competition. She's been an iFund Women Pitch Competition winner. She's been featured on The Kitchen, YouTube, Rock Nation. She's had celebrities like Viola Davis, Serena Williams, Lena Waithe, all wearing her shirts and all proud supporters of Mess in a Bottle. So it really is a pleasure to have both of you on today. So
I'm excited to be on with Demi. So
I know, you have no idea. Kalilah, you have no idea what we're about to hear. So let's hear this. So let me get started with inspiration, because we have folks on that are watching just to be inspired by the two of you. Let me start with Demi. Demi, what inspired you to want to be an entrepreneur?
What inspired me to be an entrepreneur is what inspires me to be an entrepreneur, I think it should be more Black entrepreneurs and Black businesses, and I like my own money and I like to be the boss.
Hey, liking to be the boss, liking your own money, good reason. Kalilah, what do you say? What inspired you to start your brand?
I would say even young entrepreneurs like Demi herself, like that is true inspiration. I have a 7-year-old son, and I really want, and honestly, it's not even just the young. I think even the older, like my grandmother is one, as immigrants, she's worked jobs, her whole life. And so for me to be able to sort of build and kind of design my own career path, you know, my grandmother is inspired where she's like, you know, maybe I could start a business. So I think that my inspiration comes from really allowing other people to know that no matter how old they are or what they're doing and where they are in life, they can too, you know, start their own business and be successful at it.
Absolutely. Let me pick up where you just stopped and talk about the start of your business. Because many times we get to see entrepreneurs like you, Demi, and you, Kalilah, and we see the success you are today. Can you talk us through how it started? Demi, tell me, how did you start from an idea to creating the brand that you have now?
Well, I started my business on watching the videos, and my mom just brought me the kit, and I just started tie-dyeing. My mom just put it on Instagram, and I blew up, and I just got better and better every day.
So let me ask you this. So you had an idea, you went on YouTube, you trained yourself on how to do this, you got the supplies, and then how did you go from like, this is fun, to making it a business? How did you think about making it a business?
My mommy, she just put it on Instagram and everybody saw it, and then it just blew up.
That's how you got your 100 customers.
I wish my mommy did the same for me.
I know.
Because,
Any mommies like that? Putting you on Instagram.
my mom does the same. She actually buys from Mess in a Bottle 2 times a month. She has more Mess in a Bottle than I do. So Demi, and so am I, that our mothers are cheering us on. It's beautiful.
So first, I just started giving some of my neighbors a shirt, and they turned out to be good.
So you started putting the product into the hands of a customer that could tell you whether the product was good or not.
Yes.
Excellent advice for folks. Kalilah,
They just gave me the right color.
You got the right colors, got the right what people wanted, right? Excellent job. Kalilah, how did you get started? How did you start in the business?
I think Demi is hitting on it. It's about word of mouth. It's first about getting people, you know, just regular friends and family first to really recognize the brand. And, you know, once that happened, I did the same, you know, that your social network is definitely proof of concept. They'll tell you if something is good or not. So, you know, she did the right thing by first giving it to her audience and seeing like, do they like it? And clearly they do, because they're still buying. So that is definitely the same way that we've been able to kind of get started, is by getting other people, you know, to really invest in the brand.
Mm-hmm. Let me take you back to, you know, COVID is a different type of, this has been a whole different marketplace than before. How have you used social media? Because both of you have big brands on social media. How do you use those platforms? I'll start with Kalilah and then go to Demi. How do you use social media or Instagram to promote your brand? Because other people are wondering, how did you do it?
I mean, I use real life experiences, you know, so I think for me, I'm very transparent on social media. So, you know, not every day is going to be a great day. Not every day is going to be, you know, a lot of fun. You know, there's going to be some tough days. There's going to be some obstacles. And so for me, you know, I share all of that. I share the great moments and I share the not so great moments. And so, you know, even through COVID, I was very transparent about, you know, if it would take a longer time for production or, you know, whatever the issues were, I would be really transparent with my messengers just to, you know, bring them in on the business. And I think that has been really impactful where people, you know, they understand if you are communicating with them. And so, you know, for us, I think through COVID, it's just been a time where we've been able to be really transparent and share with our messengers exactly where we were at the time of the business. So
being really transparent with your business, you have customers, but it seems like you have like somewhat like following and people who ride with you through through just the COVID storm. Demi, how have you used Instagram? How are you using social media to get the message out about your business?
So I just take pictures with my customers. We take the pictures with their shirts and masks and stuff, their merch, and we just post it on Instagram and we just post it and then people be asking us for more, and we just make them and then we just send them to them.
Okay, great. I'm gonna stay with you, Demi, for a second. Now you've accomplished a lot. You're 7 years old, starting your own business, you're doing your thing, you're doing well in school. Tell me, what's been your greatest accomplishment as a business owner thus far?
Well, this far is the making the smiles on my customers' faces and making them happy with their merch.
With their merch. I love it. I love it. Kalilah, what's been your greatest accomplishment? Demi likes to smile on the face, people happy with her merch. How about you?
I would say that we too, making sure our customers are happy with our messages. That is something that I'm definitely prideful about. And just real good, great service, So making sure that, our customers really love what they are receiving and that, if there's any issues that we make sure we rectify it, things like that. So I think I take a lot of pride in making sure we're providing like great customer service as well.
Mm-hmm. Have there been challenges in starting the business? We have a number of folks who are on who, they've started and stopped. They've grown and they've shrunk in their business. Have there been challenges that you have faced? I'll start with you, Kalilah, and then go to Demi. Challenge you faced in your business?
Yeah, being a Black-owned, women-owned business, we are a minority group that receives like less funding and less capital and startup capital to our business. So for myself, it's definitely difficult getting started with, almost like little to no startup capital. And so for us to really be able to thrive and do well with no startup capital, that has been a hurdle. But I think it really shows, just how we are as a bootstrap company and sort of really making sure, that we are 100% Black owned and we've invested in ourselves. So I think it's been a difficult thing, but and it's been the most challenging, but I think it's been also the most rewarding.
Mm-hmm. Seeing the fact that you are able to push through and make it without that. Yeah. Demi, what have you had every day been sunny? How's business been going? Have there been any challenges? Any things you've had to overcome?
Yes. It's like basically it's maintaining virtual learning and keeping up with my tie-dye business.
So you got time management challenges, right? Getting that done. Great job. Let me ask you this, both of you, what's the vision for your business? So you started with t-shirts, and Kalilah, I've been following you for a while. I had your first t-shirt a long time. I don't know if it was the first one, but I always say I had one of your first t-shirts.
Which one?
Huh?
Which one?
It was white. It was just like this one, but this one was a gift because I wore the white one out. So someone got me a random.
That message, strong as death.
Yes. So what's the long-term vision? I know you've got baby clothes now, you have masks, you have new messages. It seems like you're being extremely responsive to the businesses. So what's the vision, long-term vision for your business?
I mean, I think that our long-term vision is very vast. Like, we've thought about different areas of the business and, venturing into, who knows, beveraging might be an option, mass retailers. So we have a lot of different places and spaces that we are thinking.
Oh, we got the kids on. Hey, how you doing?
The entrepreneur too. That's Demi. She has a company also.
Mm-hmm. We love it. What's his name?
What's his name?
Caden.
Caden. Welcome, Caden. You have an amazing mama. I'm glad you came on. Excellent. Look at Caden. Look at Caden. Caden don't know how far he's reaching on Facebook. Great. So is he one of your employees?
He is. He's out there. What are you doing right now?
I was helping.
Unboxing the bottles. Yep. And so he helps us with, moving different things over to the shipping area and unbottling things for us. And
I basically just fold sometimes.
And you fold sometimes. So yep, he's the true owner of Mess in a Bottle. I let him know all the time. And so we get him really involved. And right now we have a volunteer that's also helping him with counting. And so they have Mr. Brian. Yep.
Mr. Brian?
Yep. And
I was
so
about to say Mr. Bryant.
yep, but his name is Mr. Brian. So, I think it's all hands on deck, especially with like virtual learning. It's been really interesting. So, it's just one of those things where everybody plays a part and, everybody gets to kind of help out. And so, it's been
No,
great.
this is good. So, hey, Kate, bye, Kate. I know you're going back to work, buddy. Demi has the same thing. Demi, you have an employee, right? Let your mama give a shout out. I'm gonna let your mama give a shout out. I know she's over there somewhere.
She's right there.
She's right there. She's your employee. What's it like having your family as your employees in your business?
So, well, hold on, wait. Hey, I just want to pull my family and friends. I just want to give them jobs so they can have their businesses too. Like I want to pull my family and friends.
Excellent. You're bringing everybody along with you as you succeed. Let me ask you this now, Demi. You know who Oprah is? You ever heard that name?
No.
Hey, have you heard of Beyonce?
Yes.
Okay, all right. We're gonna pretend for a minute. So we're not pretending. Beyonce is watching. She wants to figure out how to help other young people like you, Demi, continue your businesses, launch your businesses. What do you say to her on how she could help young girls like you start their businesses and be entrepreneurs? What would you say to them?
Well, they can mentor and believe in us.
Believe in you.
Yes.
Get them to buy your product?
Yes.
And wear your product on her photo shoots?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm helping you. I'm your promoter, Demi, because you do amazing work. Kalilah, what would you say? I'm gonna give you Oprah and Beyonce. Both of you have Oprah and Beyonce. They're watching. What do you think about what they can do?
So I think what they can do is to continue to invest in definitely small Black women-owned businesses. I think just what we've learned and have seen is not just about people wearing it. It's literally about them actually putting investment dollars into our communities and into specifically Black-owned, women-owned business, and really even mentorship programs around how to expand businesses, and just teaching us. I think that's a really big component. A lot of people, we've had many times where people have gotten a celebrity to wear their stuff and you can grow too fast as well. Like there is that. So I think that a lot of us may not be very well versed in some of the businesses contracts. There's a lot of other components that is not just buying and purchasing the item. So I would say that just mentorship, as Demi said, and believing in us, as well as just making sure that we are business savvy and business ready.
You said some really important points just now, Kalilah. And, everyone thinks they want their t-shirt worn by Beyonce, and then they get 1 million orders in overnight, and then they can't fulfill them. Can you talk about that growth and that scaling and just dig a little deeper into sort of advice to folks as they're thinking about their businesses and thinking about scaling and growth?
Yeah, I think that you have to be strategic and intentional about, how, because also having the right amount of staff in place, making sure that you also have the right amount of customer service in place is big as well. So having a lot of orders is great, but you want to make sure that the fulfillment process is, no one wants to wait 5-6 weeks for a product. So I think the biggest thing is just really making sure that you are intentional and that you are ready for that type of surge. So I think that that's really important.
Mhm. Demi, how is your business grown? So how did you start out in your growth? Kalilah just talked about the growth of her business. How did you start out and grow your business?
I did it by my first pop-up shop with
And
my cousin.
how did you do that? How did you do a pop-up shop? Tell people about that.
Well, my cousin Kelsey, she has her own business and she's 15 and she started the pop-up shop and it blew up from there.
She blew up her pop-up shop and then you did a pop-up shop and you blew up.
Yeah.
And what cousin is this? What's her name?
Kelsey.
And what is she selling?
Kelsey Moore.
What does she sell?
She sells clothes, dresses, scrunchies, headbands.
Okay, so the family business. That is the family business. Hold on, and let me do something before I go along. I messed up. I forgot to tell people you can put questions in the chat on Facebook, the chat in Zoom, or you can text them to 22333 and type JHUWL in the message, and we will get to your questions as we go along. So
And
don't.
her business name is Lavish Couture.
Lavish Couture, that's your cousin's business. Okay, excellent. Let me ask you this, Kalilah, can you tell me what surprises you most about being an entrepreneur? You are an architect, you are extremely well educated, extremely accomplished. What surprised you when you launched into owning a business?
I think I'll say a misconception. So a lot of people who own their own businesses, they sort of feel like, oh, they could do what they want, that you can have your own, set your own hours or come late if you want. But the reality of it is you still need a schedule. You still need to perform. You still need to be on time. You still need to do, so I would say it's mostly that, like making sure like on days that you may want to not go to work, you have to go to, it's very much similar to the job.
No taking off.
You could take off. I'm here for the self-care. I've definitely been preaching that, but the first 2-3 years, you might want to rethink that because the paycheck is really gonna, it's feeding you. And so, I think that it's a lot more pressure. But like I've said in the beginning, it's definitely more rewarding because it's yours, So I think that it's been a very interesting, but I think that that's probably one of the most things. And you wear many hats, as entrepreneurs. Also, you there's a lot of versatility in your position until you really hire. And even when you hire, you still have to sometimes do those other positions. So I think that that's probably one of the bigger things that I would say as an entrepreneur that I've learned and still am getting acclimated to.
Excellent. Demi, what surprised you about being an entrepreneur? What's been one of the things you didn't expect?
So what surprised me to be an entrepreneur, I didn't know it was going to be this much hard work, and it's hard for me and my mommy and for a 7-year-old.
Yeah. So what's the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur? Talk to us. What's one of the things you didn't expect that's hard?
Well, it's hard to keep some of my money to buy some of the products, and I still gotta save some money for all this stuff. I still gotta save some money for products too. I could save some, save half and save the other for products.
I see. So while you're bringing in revenue, you need to put out revenue. You have to put some of it out as expenses to be able to buy more product to fulfill the orders. cash flow. Can you, both of you both have excellent, I mean, that was really well explained, Demi. Kalilah, can you talk to us about cash flow? We have another, many times on this Entrepreneurship Matters, we've gotten questions about how do you calibrate yourself, right? You're taking in orders, you're getting revenue, and you're getting orders, and you have expenses. How do you advise someone to deal with that cash flow situation that Demi Demi, you're brilliant. I mean, you really are. The way you told us that.
It would be, I would definitely say working on like your working capital and making sure that your working capital, so what your working capital is. Back to class.
I want some juice.
Water, go back to class. Come on, Kay, back to class, at school, back to school. You want to make sure that you work on your working capital. And so what your working capital is sort of like that money that Demi was just saying, like you take half of it and you have to save some of it. So your working capital is a percentage of your sales and your revenue that you sort of don't want to touch. So over the years, I've tried to do a good job at like putting away a percentage and kind of keeping and saving that working capital. A nugget that I'll drop in this group is that if you are on PayPal or even Shopify, there's a lot of like working capital loans. And so the working capital loans don't go off of your credit, they actually go off of your sales and your revenue. So if you're on that platform and like they see that you are selling X amount, they will actually give you a small business loan with a very small, and there's not really a percentage that you pay back. It's just like a starter fee, which ends up being, let's say 2,000 or whatever the amount is. And so this actually really helps to like grow your business where you can use that money to buy more products, buy, if Demi's buying like, certain amount of products and she needs, it'll be cheaper, of course, if you buy 100 opposed to if you only buy 5. So, you take out these working capital loans to help you with inventory or with or even with your machinery or how you fulfill the product. And then that way that in the long run, you start to have more of your own money going towards your own working capital. So that is some ways that we've helped to like build our business.
That was a pure gem. Pure gem you just gave about working capital. And you almost like a business school professor giving MBAs over here, telling people about how, and Demi is y'all co-professors in teaching people knowledge about capital. Demi, let me ask you this. One person put in the chat, y'all are getting a lot of love on Facebook and on social media. Just want to lift y'all up, let you know both of you are getting a lot of love. Demi, one person asked this, how are you dealing, what would you say to other young people who want to own their own business? What advice would you give to another kid?
For another kid, I would just say just go for it so they can just get better like me. So I just help them out. Like I can just help them out and they get better just like me. And I just go help them and they get better and better every day. Like their business go bigger and bigger and bigger every day.
So just like go for it, right? Yeah, excellent advice. Kalilah, were you, and I know you weren't 7, but what advice would you give to a young entrepreneur, young person on here that's watching, wanting to know what advice would you give them on starting and wanting to own their own business?
I think the biggest advice I would give is just to start. I don't think that any of us, no matter the age, I don't think what kind of magic you're creating until you start. So you have to start putting it out there. And also there's a lot of fear behind starting, but once you start, you can sort of see what things you need to fix. And you won't see those things until you get started. So yeah. I think my first advice is to just start.
Excellent. Now for both of you, Kaden got this question asked on Facebook. Telling me starting questions getting asked. How are both of you juggling this new normal with virtual learning, scaling? How are you juggling that? And Demi, how are you dealing with Miss Brown giving you assignments, teaching you on virtual learning, and also starting your business. How are you juggling those two things?
It's a lot of work, but I do my work first and then to tie-dye.
So you putting your priority is on getting your education, and then you put your time on the tie-dye.
Yes.
Excellent job. How about you, Kalilah? How are you juggling? You're a teacher, business owner, mom. You're doing all sorts of tasks. How are you?
Oops, sorry, I pressed something by accident.
Oh, no worries.
And so for us, it's been definitely a difficult task. I think as a mom, keeping him on, keeping him on board and sort of really making sure that he is doing what he needs to do, not popping into my meetings. But I think what I've learned during this time is that it's good to have your kids involved. Even if I was just a working mom, and I think I can't avoid him sometimes coming in and popping, and it's better to have him involved rather than to kind of, and then he's getting to learn a lot about the business as well. So I do think that also is, that's been beneficial for both of us. So I think I kind of learned that with the first couple of days of school, is kind of like, let him be as involved as he wants to be. And then, we kind of go from there.
That's smart. It'll cost you a lot. I see people, I see little kids creeping up on the side of the screen sometimes in meetings. And I see the mom like pushing the kid out.
Yeah. And might as well just let them
sit under their teeth. And I always say, just let them come in. It don't bother me. I don't mind a kid.
You never know what they'll learn. My son, surprisingly now, he kind of speaks more business minded. He's like saying certain things, or, he brings up contracts. He brings up Black Friday. He brings up, he asks me if I'm ready for the day. And I'm just like, okay, or if I'm ready for an interview or a meeting. So I think that it's been quite really interesting, and just having him involved helps.
It's great. It's great. He's gonna be talking like Demi.
Yes.
They can compare notes. Hold on. Who has an Aunt Shelly? Who has an Aunt Shelly? Is that you, Kalilah, or is that Demi? You have an Aunt Shelly? Oh, that's your aunt told me to tell you she's watching you. Now, so you want to say hi to her? Go ahead. You can say hi to her.
Hi, Aunt Shelly.
All right, I'll let you give a shout out. That's good. That's good. So Kalilah, someone asked this question on Facebook. You opened a new studio during the height of the pandemic.
I did.
What are some of the challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them? A lot of y'all business owners started something during the pandemic. I noticed that a lot of you made big moves during the pandemic. And the pandemic's still going on, but have made big moves. Can you talk about that? And someone wants to know what the challenges, how'd you overcome them?
So we were actually moving our shop before the pandemic. Like, we signed a lease and we were set to move in. But of course the pandemic happened. And of course that, like many other entrepreneurs, it scared us. And I'm like, should we move? Should we stay where we're at? But I said, I powered forward, and I actually doubled the space that we initially signed the lease. We used that to our advantage. Like, hey, no one's moving during this time. How about you lower the rent space, the square footage, and and you give us 2 spaces. And so that is, I think that it's a good way to sort of, it's a gamble, because we weren't sure how long this thing was going to last for, what was going to happen, if we would get back to normal, things like that. But I think that, it was a really good move at this time.
Mm-hmm. Let me, this is a question, and it ties into something you both brought up. How could people invest in your businesses? So if people wanted to support and they said, you know what, we want to make sure Mess in a Bottle, it's in Baltimore. We wanted to stay in Baltimore. We wanted to grow in Baltimore. We want a whole, we talk about the larger companies than yours, like Under Armour, like we want you to be the Fortune 500 company of Baltimore. How can we support you at this time?
Continuing, I think, to spread the message. Like that's one of our big, our mission drivers is telling people to spread the message, share within your community about Messing About It, what our mission is, who we are and what we do. I think that that's the best way, and just being intentional with, of course, how you shop and, I think continuing to let people know about our organization, what we do, I think is like one of the best ways to really support the brand, and just continuously doing so even past, this moment. So.
Mhm. Demi, how can people support you? How can people help you grow your business? I know you have one employee, she's related to you, which is great. But how can we help you to grow your business and continue to spread your love and the smiles that you're putting on people's faces?
Share my product, share my product, reach out to people, and reach out to people, like make sure they get their product, and like give them their product what they wanted, and so I want to share my social media and stuff, and they just, yeah.
So yeah, you're all over social media. I mean, don't worry, I'm not going to let this webinar end without you giving your social handles and getting people to know how to get your shirts and Kalilah how to get your shirts. This is a question for Demi. What made you decide to create tie-dye t-shirts?
I like to be different, and I just wanted to start my own business, and I just wanted to start my own business.
And you started with t-shirts and hoodies. I know your prices. I know prices for your t-shirts. They're actually good prices. What other products are you thinking about in the future?
I really think in the future, I think I will be tie-dyeing purses, and like tennis shoes and stuff. Like get more tennis shoes.
You're gonna do tennis shoes. Oh, all right. That's a great thing. Excellent job. Let me ask you this, Kalilah, and then I'll go to Demi. Is this your first business? Is this how you started in the entrepreneurship lane?
No, so for me, I started out with a baby furniture business. And so that was my very first baby furniture company. It was called Lily Nash. That was my first business. And it was kind of recycled, repurposed furniture. And we gave it new life. And so Messing About was actually my second company.
Wow. Well, Demi, is this your first company, or you had another business before this one?
No, this is just my first company. This is
okay. I mean, you're seven. I was just wondering if there was something else before 7. I know 6 comes before 7, but I didn't know if another business came before this. Let me ask Kalilah this question, and we've gotten this a couple of times. Is there a process you take to identify the message? So you have powerful messages on your shirts. I mean, I'm gonna show everybody my shirt. Oh, this is mine is as strong as the woman next to me. And I just bought another shirt from you yesterday. It's a onesie called You Brought Me Into This Mess. But the onesie, is there something like behind the message? How do you come up with the messages that you're going to put on the shirts and send out?
So we have messages about love, life, career, and current events. And so, we just really try to create messages that are very relevant. And, we have a design team now, but I'm the one that comes up with most of the messages. And, I'm just really, again, intentional about the influence and the impact that I have in the world. And so I'm just trying to make sure that the things that I say and write are very witty, and that they're, we are here to start important conversations. Like that's what Messing About It is.
Excellent. How about you, Demi? What's behind the colors that you're using? I notice you use certain vibrant colors. What's behind that? Is there,
It's fun.
it's just fun. All right. I mean, the colors are fun. I like it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, every week we get this question from people watching, and they desperately want a word of encouragement. And so, what's an encouraging word for someone who COVID hasn't been as kind to as it has been to you two? You know, they're struggling. They're holding on to their business with both hands. What would you say to those entrepreneurs?
So I think an advice that I would give is definitely to create a contingency plan and to sort of like not be afraid to pivot. You know, I think depending on, sometimes we are holding on to something that is actually meant to almost be let go of. Like, you know, there can be something even greater on the other side. And you know, and this is not to tell anyone to give up on their business, but sometimes I think that we shouldn't be afraid to pivot. We shouldn't be afraid to try different things, try new things, because a pandemic or anything, like, you know, these things are unexpected. And so when you are creating a business, there are going to be many unexpected things. And sometimes, you know, it will force us in a corner to have to make this hard decisions. So I think that I would just really encourage anyone to really look at their business. And, you know, if there is no salvaging, you know, it's figuring out like what's next. How do you pivot? Where do you go from here? And not be afraid to, because it could be your greatest invention yet.
Mm-hmm. Demi, what are you saying? Somebody needs some encouragement. There's a child out there, they're 6, like your little sister. They might be a little older. They might be like me. They want some encouragement. What would you tell them if about starting their business or keeping going? What word would you give them?
I would say, pray, talk to God, and don't give up.
Those are some good pray, talk to God, don't give up. That sounds like a t-shirt, Kalilah.
Yes, I'm like, that sounds
like a t-shirt.
Yes.
I know you're dropping real science. Kalilah, let me ask you this. Why are most of your shirts, someone asked this question, this is a really good one. Why are they left aligned? Is that an intentional brand move, or is that just how the print comes out? Like how I did notice that they're all left aligned.
They are. Maybe I'm more of a left brain thinker. I don't know. You know, I think that is just design wise for me, aesthetic, you know, how we've sort of positioned some of the wording and stuff on the brand. So, I mean, you know, very seldom, but sometimes we'll have wording in the middle. I think it's just really how I'm feeling and what looks the best.
Then, one question we got, do you all collaborate with others? Demi, you talked about collaborating like on pop-up shops with your cousin. Do you collaborate with other businesses on how to bring your business to market?
So I think it's unclaimed charms and I think one day, well, I got a question. Like sometimes I think one day I'm gonna have another business. Like after this one, I'm gonna have another business, and I want to collaborate with other people.
Excellent. Someone asked this question. People popping up for you, Demi. What's the favorite part about having your own business?
My favorite part of having my own business is keeping up with my business and making the good shirts for my business, like, and keeping the money for my business so it can get bigger.
And Demi told me about all the dollars and cents she's having. I mean, it's gonna be a $1 billion enterprise. Demi, the way you're going, it's going off. What is the Kalilah, do you have collaborations? Do you collab with other businesses on work?
We do collaborate with a lot of other people, but we're very intentional about our collaborations. And you know, we've worked with several different people and corporations as well. And so I think if it makes sense for our business, we do it and collaborate.
Excellent, excellent job. Let me ask you both this. Where do you find your market? How are you catering to a market? Do you have a specific market everybody's shouting both of y'all out. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get to all the shout outs that people are raising their hands on, but how do you determine what your market is for your client, for your product?
For us, we market to mostly Black women. Like, we are big on Black women. They're the ones, they look like me. I think that's what I say the most about our products. Like, I'm sort of designing specifically with Black women in mind. Like, it comes from the voice of a Black woman. So that's mainly our demographic and audience.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Demi? Who are you? How are you determining who you want to sell your product to?
I'm marketing to everyone, and
You say everyone. Everyone's fair game.
and everybody loves TikTok. Well, not TikTok. Everybody loves tie-dye.
So
everybody loves tie-dye.
Yes. Now let me ask this for you, Kalilah. You mentioned your messages reflect current events. Do you ever reuse messages? So someone says something on the debate tonight, or someone says something on social media. Do you reuse messages?
It depends. Sometimes we try to still stay, we try to, sometimes create messages that are sometimes witty, funny. It just really depends. But sometimes we do, and we'll feature something that someone says.
And someone said, what's next for Mess in a Bottle? What are you planning to do?
For Mess in a Bottle in 2021, you'll be able to shop Mess in a Bottle in a mass retailer.
Whoa. You can't tell us yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Maybe able to walk into a store that.
Okay, when it happens, will you tell us so we can?
I'll probably be announcing it in like November or December, so it's coming up. But in January, you'll be able to shop Mess in a Bottle in a mass retailer.
Oh, we're so proud of you. So proud of you. So proud of you. This question, this is for both of you. How do you remain focused on executing your vision for your business? Demi, how do you stay focused? You're in school doing tie-dye. How are you remaining focused? What are some tips you would give?
Well, my mom helped me stay focused and make sure I'm focused on my work. And first, I got to be focused on my work, and then I'm going to be focused on tie-dyeing.
Excellent. So you compartmentalize, and your mom helps a great deal. How about you, Kalilah? How do you stay focused on executing your vision for your business?
I use programs like Trello, also Slack. Slack, we,
Trello.
Yeah, Trello. That's one of my favorite ones. And it's a project management tool. And, that really helps me to kind of create boards where you can put like tasks, you can assign tasks to different people. So that's one of my best tools that I use to manage. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Someone said, both of you're shining examples for young entrepreneurs everywhere. You're very well spoken, articulate. We appreciate both of you. So people giving you love again. Let me ask you this. What's behind the She From t-shirts?
So She From is just really repping your brand, repping your city. And, it's just one of those things where it, we want people to rep where they're from. So, people really enjoy shouting out their city. And so that's what it's there for.
Yeah. So people trying to buy y'all stuff. Can we get t-shirts with messages that are no longer available? How long do your messages stay available?
Yeah, we've just recently been retiring messages from time to time, but if you send us a DM or a message, we still, if it's something we still have in stock, we definitely still honor it.
Okay, excellent. Demi, how are people going to order your shirts? Can you tell us, give us the tips. How do we get to you to order your shirts? And also give your prices, because so people know.
Instagram, and I'm actually working on a website so people can get customized tie-dye shirts.
Excellent. So tell us your Instagram.
You want my real one or my tie-dye one?
Tie-dye, because I know you have multiple brands.
It is Demi, it's Demi Co _ tie-dye.
Okay, excellent. Kalilah, how do people get your shirts? How do they get in contact with you, be able to buy your
We are at messinabottle.com, and our Instagram is messinabottle.
Excellent. Now, there's a question that we have, and both of you, people want to understand how have you built your platform and your brand? What advice do you have in building a media presence and getting your name out there to a multimedia audience? Kalilah, how'd you do that?
I think ours is about consistency. We consistently post, and I think also taking maybe one social media platform and sort of dominating that is one of the advices I give. So, Instagram was my thing. It's towards and targeted more towards the age group that I sell to. So I sort of focus there and have been really sharing and being consistent on that platform.
Mm-hmm. Demi, how do you sell your product? How have you built your brand?
Social media. I teach birthdays. I teach daycares.
Hold on. You didn't mention this. Hold on. You're selling to daycares and to.
I'm teaching the daycares. And
you teach them.
Yeah, and I teach birthdays.
Oh, so you'll come, somebody has their birthday, you come and teach them how to do tie-dye as a part of their party.
Yes.
Excellent. And and is that, how can people get the same way they go through your social media to be able to book you to do a lesson at a party?
Yes.
Excellent job. There's a comment you both got, wishing you both continued success. Thank you for sharing with fellow entrepreneurs who aspire to achieve great business success like both of you. Y'all are so inspiring for so many people on social media and who are watching you all. So let me ask this question to round us out and get us going, because I know I'm about to run out of time. When you think about the growth of businesses like yours and the investment that we can make in our city to support businesses like yours, what advice would you give to people at all levels? And I talked about Oprah, and I'm jokingly, I hope Oprah one day watches this, but what would you say for the average consumer, to the policymaker, to the person who's thinking about how do we design things to support businesses like yours? What advice would you give to those demographics?
I think that the advice I would give to them is to definitely to keep encouraging us, and to keep definitely sharing and talking about the brand, and just to, when it comes to even loans and policies and things through politics, like how to make sure that businesses like ours continue to thrive. And, when you have all these loan packages and things like that, making sure that we are at the top of lists to make sure that we are also selected. So I think the biggest thing is keeping our names in conversations and making sure that people don't forget about us.
Excellent. Demi, what would you say to people? How could they make it easier for young people like you to start your own business?
So network as hard as you can and promote your business and be proud of it.
And be proud of it. And the networking, they need to make opportunities for you to network, right? Excellent. we close out, let me close us out and let me get a couple of things from you. Demi, tell us again, how can people get in contact with you, buy your shirts? You have shirts at $15 for kids, $20 for adults,
Yes.
$30, mask are $6. So
Yes.
how do we get in contact with you?
It's a pop-up shop Friday, October the 6 p.m. through 8 p.m. 2123 North Charles Street. It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow. So on Friday or Saturday?
Friday.
Friday from 6 to 8. Give us the address again.
2123 North Charles Street.
Excellent. And if they want to get order from you on Instagram, they're going to what website? What Instagram handle?
They going to my Instagram, so it's Demi and Co, and there's underscore tie-dye, and yeah, and then you can text me from there.
All right, excellent, excellent. Kalilah, you have any pop-ups coming up or things? How can we get in contact with you to buy some of your shirts?
So I actually have a tea class coming up, and so we teach people how to start their own t-shirt companies. It'll be back up and running probably November 1st. So if you go to thetclass.com, and you can just regularly shop at Mess in a Bottle, and we have some cool stuff. So if you follow us on our Instagram at Mess in a Bottle, you'll start to see we have a tea party that's probably going to be next Friday as well. So we have a lot of cool things, and we also have a mystery box that's coming out as well for the fall. So
wonderful. Hold on. So the tea, give us the website again for the t-shirt.
thetclass.com.
So just the letter T.
No, it's theteclass.com.
Okay, great. I want to make sure everyone got that correctly. All right, excellent. Thank you both. You both have been amazing. Demi.
Yes.
I need you to make me a promise. One day when you become a billionaire, you're gonna hire me, right?
Yes.
Excellent. I appreciate that. Kalilah, you too. I need you to hire me. I need you to hire me when you become that billionaire. I need it. Thank you both. You both are inspiring. We appreciate having both of you in our city and are just wishing you all the best. Bye from these two amazing women and support them because they're supporting us and we appreciate them. Next Thursday, we're going to come back at 1 o'clock. This is going to be all about photography. Woo. So Jane Gibbs of Out of the Box Photography and Devin Jacobs of YBK, which is Young Black King Photography. They're both going to be on here and you don't want to miss it. Please follow us on JH Connects on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Email feedback to us at jhconnects@jhu.edu. I want to thank our partners, Johns Hopkins University, Johns Hopkins Health System, Hopkins Local, the Mayor's Office of Small Minority and Women-Owned Business, and the Warnock Foundation. Thank you all and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.